Welcome back to Coach's Corner. We're going to wrap up the high school wrestling season with our head coach, Chris Walker, and the Wildcats getting a state runner-up, 4 to the state tournament. And Chris, congratulations. It's always tough to get anybody to the state tournament. We got 4 this year, including Brennan Hood, who really finished off his career in grand style, didn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he did. He was a sophomore. He made it to the state finals, and he's trained extremely hard this year. He wanted to make a trip back there, and he was able to. And so I was real proud of Brandon, and I was real proud of the rest of the guys, but Brandon's our only state placer this year.
And a guy that's kind of been overlooked because as a sophomore he made it there, and the expectations kind of get unrealistic after that. Everybody kind of just assumes, and it's not easy, is it? You have to go through a lot. So for him to overcome his junior year and then come back his senior year and get to the finals speaks volumes. In fact, to get to the finals, he had to beat a guy that had beaten him in the regional championships too.
Yeah, a lot of times when a kid makes it places at state, everybody just expects them to the following year. But there's so many things that have to be in place for a kid to even place at the state tournament. And that was kind of the situation for Brandon his sophomore year. He had to everything aligned right for him, and he had a good year. He was wrestling well. And then last year, he just not that he wasn't wrestling well, but just all the cards weren't perfectly aligned. Right. But his senior campaign, he finished it off with the state finals, making it to the state finals.
And you say that everything aligned. For the guy that he wrestled in the finals, his story was interesting. He had only wrestled a couple of matches, won a regional title and then won a state title, and he ended up like 7-0 on the season. The guy from Norman North, so he had everything matched up just perfectly for him.
Yeah, he was. We knew that kid was going to be tough to beat. We'd been watching his story all along. He was one of those kids that had filed for a hardship. He left Tuttle, a quality program, state championship program, and he moved to Norman North. And you're right. The cards fell right for him. He was allowed to wrestle right before the regional tournament and made a run at it, and now he's a state champion.
Your other wrestlers, first of all, LeClaire. He was a long shot to get anywhere, and he got out of the regionals and got to the state tournament for his senior year. And then Johnny Bond and Dakota Bridges both won a match at the state tournament, which is something that is not a lot of people can say either.
Yeah, we don't talk about injuries and things like that a lot, but going into it, Aaron and John Bond, they both were banged up pretty bad. John, he was in a brace. We didn't even know that he was going to be able to go. It came down to his parents and the doctors making a decision, so he had to overcome some obstacles. He couldn't really put a lot of weight on his legs, so for him to win a match there, that was huge. And then Aaron, both his shoulders, we had him in braces. Both his shoulders were popping out. So for him even to go to the state tournament was pretty big, and for him to compete in the state tournament was huge.
Absolutely. So 4 state qualifiers, 1 state placer. Brennan Hunt finishes his senior year with remarkable 2 state runner-ups to his credit. And I know as we do this final show, you got some assistant coaches that are very near and dear to you that are going to be leaving the program too. Pat Young, who we said goodbye to during the regular season after 30 some odd years. Tough to say goodbye to a guy who I know you respect a great deal.
Yeah, I do. I respect all my assistant coaches a great deal, but Coach Young, he's been real special to me, and he's going to be stepping down this year, going into retirement. So, we wish him the best of luck, but we are dearly going to miss him, and the wrestling community is going to miss somebody that's been a great representative and just a outstanding person in regards to wrestling.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you got to say. He's a Hall of Famer, and I know you will. One final thing, we had a winning record this year. I think a lot of people need to realize that there were great strides made. You guys had a winning record. You beat some teams that reached dual state. You beat teams that finished higher in the state tournament than you did, but you had a good dual season this year, probably one of the best you'd say since you've been our head coach.
Oh, I don't know if it was one of the best. We've won dual state and been state runners-up several times since I've been the head coach. This isn't a banner year, but we definitely have done a better job this year than we have the last 2 years. But it's been a rebuilding process. We lost a bunch of kids off that dual state team, and we've just been trying to get back in the fight. And this year we had a group of seniors that wrestled real well, and they did have a winning season. And I look forward to the younger classmen next year stepping up and hopefully having another winning season.
Absolutely, Chris. Thanks very much for your time. Chris Walker, our high school wrestling coach on Coach's Corner.